Today I wanted to talk about stop suppressing your emotions and let them go. And I'm not saying this only goes towards men. Of course, women can feel this as well. But a lot of men these days, they don't allow themselves to let go of these emotions that they store up inside, you know. And of course, if this goes for women as well, it goes for women. But speaking to my men here today, because I was once in that paradigm. I know a lot of people, they like to use this stress, this anger, this despair, this desire as motivation. And what people don't realize is that when you work from such a low state, you create from that same state. Your state is how you create. So if you're working from a state of stress, of despair, of needing, of desire, anger, pride, you're going to produce results that reflect what state you're in. And the only way you're able to tell what state you're in is what emotion or frequency or thoughts conquer your mind. And now let me give you an example. Actually, let me step back for a second. I've shown you guys the scale of consciousness a couple times now, and hopefully I pop it up at this point. But everyone in each different level, whether it's fear, whether it's anger, whether it's pride, whether it's courage, love, reason, they all live in different worlds. They all live in different realities. And I like this example they gave me in the book was, let's say there's a homeless person on the side of the street, and someone who's fearful might fear him. They might be like, oh, I need to get away from this guy. Or maybe they fear that they'll become like this guy if, so-and-so doesn't work out. Someone who's shameful might blame him for how disgusting this world looks. Someone who's angry be like, why doesn't he get a job? But you see, it's the same homeless man, but there's 3 different reactions. And now you could do someone with courage. They have the courage to look up how to help. Someone with willingness is willingness to make a program, maybe to help homeless people around the world. Or someone with love, maybe go up and talk to him and, yada, yada, yada. You get the point. But maybe I can give you guys a few examples on the screen where how people who are in different states or levels of consciousness react into those situations. But now that you understand that everyone reacts, or everyone lives in a different world, depending on what state of consciousness they're in or what level of consciousness they're in, you can now begin to realize who is angry or who is fearful by their language patterns, how they react to different things. And it produces those results. Someone who's fearful constantly gets in situations that makes them fearful, whether it's they think a bear is going to pop up behind me and maul me. Some people actually fear that. Some people fear that if they get too close to an edge, they might sprain an ankle. I don't know, but some people are really just fearful. And you could tell by how they live, how they walk, how they talk, and the overall emotion you get off of them, the energy you get off of them. And so they create, or they produce results like that. Maybe they're too scared to go for their goals because they're so scared that it won't work out. All right, let's do someone who has too much pride. Someone who's prideful always looks for external validation. They always like beshaming other people, belittling other people to make themselves feel better. But in reality, they're just running away from that unworthiness inside of them, and they'll produce results like that. Let's say they're trying to help. Let's say I was a prideful person, and I was trying to help you guys out, whether it was with, overthinking, procrastinating, or getting closer to God, and I was to say, yeah, I don't have that problem. Good luck with that, or just be a complete asshole about it, where I just make you feel less than me. You could tell by how I would talk to you that if I was a prideful person, I'm not gonna get the results I want because I just pushed you away from me unknowingly. I unconsciously did this, and now I'm getting into suppression and repression. Okay. So when we suppress these negative emotions inside of us, whether it is those prideful thoughts, whether it is that unworthiness inside, so we begin to act prideful to fill it, or we feel insecure inside, so we feel shameful, etc. Yeah, I hope you get the point. Those emotions, those thoughts, those scenarios, those fantasies, those patterns, beliefs those negative beliefs that don't serve you. All of that's negativity. Stored up inside of you is just going to be repressed unconsciously. And like I said before, when people are prideful, let's for instance, a prideful person, they don't realize that they're prideful. They unconsciously just act that way. They just unconsciously belittle people. They unconsciously try putting themselves above. They unconsciously look for validation from external sources. And the only people who realize that is the people who are not in the same, maybe not in the same frequency, but who just look at him like, yo, why are you so prideful? You know, the people around him will realize that, but he'll never realize that. And maybe you can do this with anybody in your house or anyone around you. You know, maybe you realize that they're carrying a lot of stress, and so they make stressful decisions, quote unquote. They like to get mad, or they react in different ways, or they're a little tense. But that's just that. It's them repressing emotions, and since they're suppressing it inside, emotions want to get out of your body. Your body doesn't like negative emotions, so it will try getting out. And if you don't let it out, then it will come out unconsciously, and it will eventually just harm you. And so, if your mind is constantly plagued with negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative patterns, then you'll only attract negative things in your life, which what you see is what will reinforce those already negative beliefs, because your subconscious mind likes looking for evidence of those beliefs and patterns that you have inside of you. So if you continually replay these beliefs, replay these patterns, replay these negative thoughts that are suppressed inside of you, you'll never get to where you want to get to, because you're working against the current. Your subconscious is working against you. Your frequency, your state of mind, the state of consciousness is working against you. And you'll eventually just lose trust within yourself, because everything you try isn't working, because you keep suppressing what's truly holding you back. And it's crazy to think about that emotions are essentially a big part of what holds you back from achieving your goals. Emotions, thoughts, beliefs, patterns are ultimately what holds you back. And most people don't realize this because, well, they don't know it's even there. They don't know that's depressing it. They don't even know that these patterns, these beliefs, these thoughts are continually playing inside their head. And it's because we're unconscious 90% of the day. Maybe even 95, I'm pretty sure. And some people are just always in a constant downward spiral, to the point where these emotions need to get expressed that they even become sick. And I always tell those people that, like, whenever I were to hold emotion inside of me, I get sick. And I know it's not a coincidence, right? I truly believe the only reason why people get sick is because they hold emotion inside of themselves. They hold the stress. They hold all those negativity inside. And the only way your body is able to express or get those emotions out is by making you sick, because you're not expressing it, you're not letting it go, you're not surrendering it, you're just keeping it inside, and it kills you. It kills your body. So it makes you more susceptible to sickness. Hopefully that makes sense. I know that might, push you to, like, yo, no way that these emotions, beliefs, patterns are ultimately what make me sick. But think about it. The last time you got sick, were you running away from something? Were you pushing something off? Was there a situation that you were scared to face? Was there fears that you didn't want to, all those negative things? Were you running away from it? Were you suppressing it? And for me, it really was. It was a common pattern. Whenever I would run away, whenever I would scroll on my phone, whenever I wouldn't face that quote-unquote demon inside of me, I would get sick. And, sometimes I even take those times I get sick and I'm like, I wonder what's inside of me. I wonder what's stored up. I wonder what's suppressed that I don't even realize. And yeah, eventually once I release those emotions, then all of a sudden, a day or two later, my sickness is gone. I'll quickly go over how to make these unconscious emotions and thoughts and beliefs and patterns conscious. Because it's a really simple process, and I've talked about it in countless of my videos. So if you are someone who rewatches stuff, you've probably heard this a million times, but it's not bad to rehear it. Awareness, becoming aware of your patterns, of those thoughts, of those things you're running away from, of how you overall feel throughout the day. surrendering, confessing, accepting, forgiving. I like to throw all that together. Surrender it to God, confess it, saying, yes, I was a negative person. Yes, I was prideful. Yes, da-da-da-da. Surrender it, and then accept who you once were and forgive yourself. You know what? It was because of how I was programmed. Not even because, it's just how you were programmed. It is what it is. That I was this way, but I accept who I am, I forgive myself, and now we focus on this new story, the opposite. If you're a prideful person who searches for validation externally, search for validation internally. Give yourself that love. Give yourself that validation inside. Give yourself the credit. Boost your self-esteem and build off of that. You know, once you continually become aware, surrender, accept, forgive, and let go of these negative emotions, beliefs, etc., then you'll continue to unravel more layers of unconscious patterns, unconscious emotions. So it's all part of the game. And each time you do that, you get closer to the truth within you, the real you, the self, the person that you're always meant to be. It's just these negative beliefs and patterns are what's covering it. I had a bunch of things I wanted to say. I kind of forgot about it though. But step 5 is to live in that story now. You know, focus on it, live in it, and don't look back, I'd say. Okay, that's what it was. Letting go of emotions is a little harder than it. Well, not harder. It's a little bit more tricky, you could say. Because, let me get some water. Since these programs have been inside your head, you know, your subconscious is going to be a little bit like, whoa, I'm not secure. I don't find validation within me. What are you talking about? And so it will just test you. It will throw a million things at you saying you're not that person yet. And you gotta realize that those old emotions, those old patterns, they're just passing through you. They're just trying to get out of you. The same way those negative emotions tried filtering out, you gotta let it filter out. Don't resist those old stories, because the more you resist, the more it persists. And simply just sit in those stories, sit in those thoughts, feel them. If there's tightness in your chest, if there's tightness in your shoulders, if there's tightness on your hips, release that tension and let go. Surrender it to God, saying, this isn't me anymore. I'm here. I'm now. I forgave myself. But say it gently. Don't fight yourself. Don't make it a mental battle within yourself, because then you'll give it more life. Let it go and focus on the new. That's the simplest way I can put it. Feeling the emotion, letting it pass by you, knowing that these emotions and thoughts aren't who you are. That's key. Your emotions and thoughts are not who you are. They're just waves passing through you. They're trying to get out of you, and you're just filtering it. Your body's just filtering those negative beliefs, negative patterns, and eventually they'll get out. And yeah, that's ultimately how you stop doing that. And once you start living into this new identity, then you'll unconsciously start repressing the positive stuff, the positive self-esteem, the more love, the more peace. And everyone around you will start to notice. And once they start to notice, that's how you realize, man, I really have changed. And you'll start producing better things, whether it's in your work, whether it's with the people around you, whether it's just how you eat. Your body will react in different ways, and it's honestly magical, because the presence of God is love, and if you have more love around you, more love inside of you, overall, magical things will happen. And so it's overall better to let go of those negative emotions, be that higher version of yourself, feel those higher emotions, the love, the peace, the joy, the acceptance, forgiveness, and, well, forgiveness you can't really feel. Sort of, I don't know. And yeah, you can live a life you always wanted to live. Stop running away from things. You can always be present, because your mind isn't always clouded with things that you're running away from, whether it's fear, shame, desire, and you're just completely let go. You're completely present with God. So yeah, hopefully this helps. I don't know how long this video is. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I like this video. I haven't really touched upon this emotion and stuff like that in a little bit, so it's a good reminder for myself, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. But yeah, God bless, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Also, feel free to hit me up on Instagram if you have any questions. I'm always here to help. I really do. I really have been messaging a lot of people recently, helping people out with their own personal problems and giving them my advice and just giving them a way out. You know, it's not 100% you gotta live what I say. You can choose your own truth, but of course, people don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to search for help. You know, the very act of searching for help is the act of self-love towards yourself. Don't suppress those emotions. Don't run away anymore. It's time to face them. It's time to overcome. It's time to be who God has always called you to be. So yeah, hopefully this helped. God bless. Hopefully you like the scenery. I can show you guys this little waterfall down here. It's really little. Like when I mean really little, I mean really, really little. Look at that. And yeah, it goes all the way down there. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I hope you liked the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.